It's on the script.
Prediction?
Yes, prediction.
Pain.
We run the clock, Super 16 is the cream of the crop. College football time of year, don't stop.
You're adding this guy.
Just another go dome with the courage, heart, skill, and will. Bringing you the best 16, serving up a plate for the football fiends. Breaking the best 16 college teams. Football fans, it's the show where you dream.
Ain't no bias. Chris Zorich breaking truth. Traded in the golden helmet in the past for a suit. With the tape, never lies. College ball, he's a stoop. Breaking the top 16, not the top 32.
I don't mean to cut you off like a Zorich jersey, but you ain't really grinding unless the jersey dirty. Hit the running back like a Mack truck behind the 30-yard line. It's game time. My team riding off the sideline.
You look at Chris like this with a fact checklist, going over college teams like a busy scientist. He's streaking from his head like in his playing days. Super 16 polls on the show straight away.
It's the FBS, the best of the best from the ACC to the SEC. Pac-12, Big 10, Mountain West, Sun Belt, and the Big 12. Open your eyelids, who the best like Cali? Super 16 is the cream of the crop. College football time of year, don't stop. With Christopher Zorich, just another go dome with the courage, heart, skill, and will. Bringing you the best 16, serving up a plate for the football fiends. Breaking the best 16 college teams. Football fans, it's the show where your dreams.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a special edition of the Super 16. We normally say poll show, but we're going to say bowl show, where we take a look at several of the bowls that have already been played and also some upcoming bowls. Also, we're going to touch a little bit about couple little college football tidbits, so to speak. We got a whole bunch of stuff going on. I think everybody and their mama has jumped in the transfer portal. That's something we're going to talk about. Also, the amazing fact that Bryce Young and Will Anderson may play in the bowl game against Kansas State. They are the amazing quarterback and the phenomenal defensive player for Alabama, which is really unique and crazy these days when they're not competing for the national championship. But we'll get a chance to get back to that. I want to thank the Football Writers Association of America for allowing me to do this, and the National Football Foundation, which awards the College Football Hall of Fame every year. The banquet was just a couple weeks ago, and we actually inducted a new class, so we're very excited about that. Unfortunately, there were not any Golden Domers in this class, but hopefully we'll have some in the next class. And before we start to get rolling, I'd like to bring in Phil Toshian. Is that the proper pronunciation after 2 years of knowing you, Phil?
Number 2, Michigan.
Very good. Thank you.
There we go. Number one, Michigan. You're blurrier than Cairo Santos' effort on his extra point. Yeah.
I'm blurrier?
Yeah, you look blurry. I don't know.
I don't know what to do, man.
It thinks like it's your internet connection. Are you getting like those Wi-Fi signals on your screen?
Nope. I haven't
Upper
got
left.
that. Nope.
No. Dang. Cherie, is it me or do you see it too? Blurry Chris. Yeah, he is. She's saying.
Blurry me.
I don't know. Are you hardwired into the stream?
I am not hardwired into the stream.
That might be it. Your signal's getting lost. I think the wife is probably ordering you some Christmas gifts and shit.
Oh, that's good. Yeah,
the Super 16 Bowl Show.
There you go. I like that. The Bowl Show.
Happy holidays, Chris. See,
happy holidays.
Like Frosty.
Happy holidays. I feel like Frank singing, you know? Exciting. Exciting times.
What's your favorite Sinatra song?
Chicago, of course.
Oh, okay.
Are you
And
being
Frank is
biased
one
to
of my
that?
yeah, for sure. I mean, he sings a great
I
New
like
York. I mean,
the
that's
summer wind.
love
The
the
summer
summer wind.
wind
Oh man,
came
Frank is my
blowing
guy.
in from across the
How about this?
sea.
What's your favorite Christmas carol?
Favorite Christmas carol is definitely
Christmas
"Have
song.
Yourself a Merry Little Christmas."
Okay.
I
Any
just love
particular
that
artist
song.
version or
Nah, I don't have one off the top of my head, but I love that song. And then what's his name? God, I just lost his name. I had it. Chestnuts roasting.
Nat King Cole?
Nat King Cole. Thank
That's
you.
my favorite.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah. I like
I
how
think
it
it's actually
started.
called a Christmas song, I think.
I think it
I
is.
mean, I call it Chestnuts Roasting on Open Fire, but that's probably not the name of it. So.
Cherie's throwing her.
Hey.
The Tempt. I don't think I've heard that.
That's
I've heard Boys to Men's Silent Night. I love that.
So,
actually, I like that Boys to Men Christmas album.
Yes, Fly Me to the Moon album. Man, we could do a Frank's show.
I just found out prior to the show that Chris is a fan of Frank Sinatra. That's
and
why.
It's not because he has a Jack Daniel Frank edition. That's not the reason why. That's not the reason why.
Hey, Frank Sinatra, just a unique sound and unique voice for those Christmas. Are you in? Do you have the spirit of Christmas? Right.
So I was going to say, so in Chicago, in the Chicago area, they have a station that's dedicated to Christmas carols that they start like the day after Thanksgiving. So it's 24 hours.
Same here.
Oh, okay. You guys got yes.
Like 100.5.
See, there you go. There you go. We have
I've
that
been
same
listening
version.
every day.
But here's the thing, because I don't have this, but I love, and this might age me, but do you remember Do They Know It's Christmas by Band-Aid? It was a group that Quincy Jones put together.
Yeah, I remember.
And then
Do they know it's
Christmas time? And
it was like a We Are the World Christmas version.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
And of course, I never, you never hear it throughout the year. So I'm still waiting. I've been in the car like 1,000 times, but for some reason, they haven't had a chance to play that.
So you're that guy that just waits. You won't use Spotify or.
I don't have a Spotify.
No?
I know.
Let me give you my password after the show to help you out.
Give it to me now.
No.
No.
It's actually my wife's. I'm like, why are you paying for this? She's like, I want to listen to my podcast. I want to listen to music. It's unlimited. I want to listen
to your show. You're like, oh, yeah, I forgot.
And then I was like, let me try this. She's like, here's the pack. Try it out. Now I'm hooked on it. I think I use it more than her.
It's like Netflix, right? You use the password to everybody, huh?
Exactly. I trade passwords with people. Like, you got HBO?
I got the Paramount.
I got Hulu.
Paramount.
I got Paramount Plus.
There you go.
You got Peacock?
Wow.
I'm looking for a YouTube TV guy. That's what I need. I couldn't believe it.
I don't know anybody who has YouTube TV. But go ahead,
I know one person. Let me vent. The NFL Network was like the Gestapo.
What happened?
With their Saturday football games.
Okay.
It was like you only could watch it on your phone. If you don't have like cable, you couldn't get it to go on the screen of your television.
Really?
It wouldn't even jump, because they give you a Roku as an app, an NFL app.
Right.
That I pay for. And 99% of the time I can turn on the Thursday night game on the thing. But Saturday you couldn't do it. And here's the kicker, Chris. No pun intended, Chicago.
Oh.
It would let you watch it on your phone, but you couldn't like stream it to your television. I even tried to mirror it. I tried to mirror it. Like get away from, what is it? I forget what when you stream it up there via one of those streaming devices. I forget. It's escaping me. The Google Chromecast.
Okay.
Someone might have said that. I skated the Chromecast, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be smart. My Apple I can
You can
mirror it. So
Right.
whatever's on my phone is automatically going up there. So screw that. I'm gonna beat you. Nope, they blocked that too.
Really?
They blocked that too. I couldn't believe it.
That's it. So was it all the games on Saturday, or what? I mean,
All of the games on NFL Network were
really
unable to be, unless you have like YouTube TV or a streaming apparatus that your Direct TV or whatever. That's the only way. And I go, this is ridiculous. But I think this is a showcase of what's to come, because NFL, the Sunday Ticket is going off of Direct TV next year.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They haven't announced who has it yet. Apple, Google. It looks like Amazon, because you see that dude. What is his name? Jeff
Bezos, yeah.
Yeah, Bezos is hanging out with Roger Goodell.
No, there you go, right there. That's going to happen then.
It's going to be big time money there. Whether it be Apple or Amazon Prime Video, someone's going to own the ownership rights to the NFL Sunday Ticket. Direct TV is gone, which is good.
So I wonder how long it's going to be, like 10 years?
I got rid of Direct TV of about 6 years ago.
Okay.
5. That's a whole nother story. But I don't know what the deal length is going to be with the streaming, but they have to have they clearly came up with an understanding of how to stop mirroring and streaming or casting.
No, I'm sure.
They did that.
Well, like you said,
you can watch it on your phone. The next thing is, who's going to get it? I have always believed that the NFL has been stupid, because you should just charge people for their team, a seasonal pass for their team.
Right.
And then you would or you give that option at $100 or $150, or the whole thing at $350, $400, and you would make more. And that would make it easier for me, because all I want to see is the Bears games. So
as long as it's easier for you, then
yeah,
it's good.
That's what I'm.
It's good.
But that would help them too, because they'd make a hell of a lot more money.
Speaking about the NFL,
yes.
Was there a game on Sunday? I was just wondering if there was a game. I actually saw a couple minutes of it. However, our guy Jalen Hurts, who we both love, at least in college, when he was at Bama, and then realized that he wasn't going to play, and then went to Oklahoma and then balled there, and everybody had their doubts about him. But guess what? He's the man.
Shane's trying to get your attention here.
I'm sorry, I'm paying attention to you. Yes.
Are you pissed about this?
This is my first time seeing it.
I guess he decommitted from Notre Dame.
Oh yeah, it's going to be interesting. They've had several guys kind of opt out, and the ranking that Notre Dame had is slowly kind of falling down the charts there, as far as her recruiting class goes. But that's something that I plan on covering a little later. Yes, sir. I had this great transition. He was kind of
craving attention. Cherie left his comment up there for 45 seconds. So
I'm sorry. I apologize. Shane,
is Chris not, or you might be frozen.
Wow.
Anyway, he's lost the title, smartest man. Anyway, so we have to rename him second smartest man, because I'm the smartest.
Oh, my bad. Wow, sorry about that.
No, the Chicago Bears obviously delve into every which way of losing that you could possibly see. What we did see is a good effort, a valiant effort out there. You can't question that. But again, the coaching decisions, play calls, and some of the personnel stuff that Shane and I talked about on Bears Hour Live come just to the surface every time. And in the history of my life watching professional football, not just the Chicago Bear, I've never seen a team pass up a kick at the 31-yard line. I've just never seen that. And a lot of people get all upset. A lot of people don't understand the reality, but you never take your kicker. Like, can you not do it? I mean, I just never have seen that. It's like, get out there and play off the wind. Play off the wind. But punting from the 31, I'm like, if you're going to do that, then go for it on fourth down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because that, to me, is a coaching buffoon show. It's just a travesty. If you're going to punt, go for it then. If you're not going to kick, go for it. What are we punting at the 30? It's still bothering me because all I see is Ted and George. I don't know football, and it just bothers me. Like, these are the guys we continue to hire. Like, no, and you're still excusing it today. And if it is this, as Chubbs is saying, it's called intentionally losing, then it just smacks of just doing a disservice, not only to the fans, but to the kid number one, who clearly isn't out there to lose and is playing to maximum effort. I don't know. I've never seen it.
I was getting excited because I was driving in. I had a daddy-daughter date, so I wasn't unable to watch the Bears game because I went to a play that was downtown. So I was listening to the game coming in, and I think the Bears went up 6-3 because there was a missed PAT.
Extra point.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because of the wind, Chris. I'm telling you, it was a complete, utter Shanko. Like Vasante for Shanko. It was just, I saw how he kicked it. It was just like kicking to the left. I'm like, oh my God. I mean, you're going to have to find yourself a kicker because you can't just rely on someone. That's 5 extra points that you've missed on the season, and 3 of them have cost you games.
Oh,
so that percentage is a killer. So when people, well, he's been really good inside the 40, inside the 50, he's missed 5 extra points. They call it an extra point for a reason. I get, and then we don't even count the blocked kick that he kicked like on a 28-degree angle, like right into the defensive lineman's hand. It wasn't like a 6'7" D lineman jumping up, getting his hands up. This was like 378-pounder whopper. He had a 3-inch vert. He's coming down, and his hand
from
hit
the
it.
vertical.
From the vertical. It's coming down. It's like, oh my God. The kicking stuff. I've lost my patience with Cairo. When he said no mas, because he literally said no mas, I can't do it. He like did the old Charlie Brown or Tiger Woods, picked up some grass and looked at the wind, and he's like, no. And I'm like, what? Then go for it.
You're out of there.
Let's punt.
Wow.
I couldn't make it up if I tried. It almost made me want to watch the World Cup. Almost.
Almost. Okay. All right. Well, it's encouraging because the next game is against the Bills, right?
Right. On Christmas Eve,
exactly.
supposed big snowstorm coming to hit you guys. in
That'll
Chicago.
be fun. That'll be fun.
Be
They'll
minus
move
20, 12 to 18 inches of snow, according to
they'll move the
weather.
game to South Bend.
That would be
And
dope.
play it there.
Play it at. Have the Bears ever played at?
Yes.
They have.
Yes.
Look at that.
When the forever they actually, so I'm sure something like that happens. So when the stadium was being rebuilt, they played in Champaign for that year. But before that, there were some issues going on with Soldier Field, and they played. I think they played one game, maybe a preseason game in South Bend. But then back in the day, like the Big Buckets during the 60s, they actually played there several times.
Wow.
Because at that point,
that would be something they should bring back.
In Wrigley Field.
They should bring one back.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, man. It'd be like the Bears. Or do you remember way back in the day they used to have the All-Star game with
that was the shit.
The All-Star
Bowl.
Yes,
the college All-Star.
Yes, jeez, they would never play that again. Never ever play that again. But that'd be
listen. The good thing, they took my advice. I wrote Roger Goodell about 2 years ago. I was like, listen, if you're playing this touch Pro Bowl crap, it's a true story. Then why don't you just play flag football and make it fun where these guys are ultra competitive? And then you could bring in college all-stars and play your pro all-stars in flag football. So I don't know if it's going to get to the college versus pro, but apparently the Pro Bowl are going to play flag football now.
Well, that's all. So you're taking credit for that.
I am.
Okay.
I am.
All right. I'm just making sure. Okay.
I am. I didn't get any money for it, but
okay. All right. So you probably, out of the millions of letters he's gotten, that was probably the one and only time.
Well, they're making flag football an Olympic sport now.
Woo! Lord.
So now all the soccer fans could say, well, they don't play football in the Olympics, do they?
Wow.
And I go, well, I think we've decided who is the superior talent when it comes to the football, real football.
So are the defensive linemen going to be able to like?
That's I don't know that yet. I don't know if it's going to go 11.
Grab a flag and make them like.
Because you're still going to be physical up front,
right?
But I think it'll be more competitive than what we saw was going on.
That is correct. That is correct. Right?
So we'll see. We'll see how it all pans out. Justin Fields, the semis. Yes, semis.
There you go.
The Chicago Bears, full of questions, but the one answer that you got is Justin Fields is your quarterback. There's no doubting. And I feel like he's an alpha. He's getting to the point where he's tired. I could see it in his eyes that he's tired of this BS. But he's not the kind of guy that's just folded up his tent for the season.
Right.
He wants to get this team together. And I feel like that's a good step here. How they do it. I know PFF ranked the Chicago Bears offensive line. I thought they were joking with me on Sunday. They ranked them 10th.
Really?
I go, if they're 10th, what does 32 look like? Because Jesus Christ. PFF.
And who is 32? Is it like a local high school team? I mean,
exactly. PFF went like that. Like, what? The Chicago Bears offensive line is the 10th best. That's just showing how they've taken the stats, because Justin is covering all these warts, and they're ranking them like that. They don't watch an ounce of tape to say, oh my God, Cody Whitehair was as pathetic as possible. But yeah, let's give him a great grade.
Well, as you know, I'm not a big fan of Justin Fields being the leading rusher in the 1,000-yard rushing club that he apparently now is in for quarterbacks, which I think is ridiculous. But he's out there running for his life.
Yeah, that's what it is. He's covering the sacks. I don't know, Chubbs. I'm sitting there watching a Packers offensive line give Aaron Rodgers about 35-minute break, like you're working at Best Buy every time you snap the ball. Mr. Rogers, yeah, I'm going on my break, dropping back to pass, smoking a cigarette out there. Christ. Let's look at these things on tape, not. Oh my God.
Speaking about cigarettes.
Yes.
I was going to transition into college football from cigarettes. So
how are you doing it? That's amazing. Is there a Marlboro Bowl?
No, but I would like to comment. So the Joe Moore Offensive Line Award for college offensive linemen has had a repeat win, back-to-back, first time ever. The Michigan offensive line won last year, and they won this year. So
my boy, Big O.
Joe, this is my transition because Joe Moore was an offensive line coach at Notre Dame, and previous to that, he was offensive line coach at Pitt for years. Bill Fralick, Jimbo Covert, Mark Mammy. He just produced crazy guys. But he always used to smoke, and he would have a weird way of holding the cigarette so the head coaches wouldn't see, and he kind of cuffed it underneath like this. So then he would kind of smoke it like this. It was hilarious, but didn't smoke on the signs during games.
You knew this dude?
Oh yeah, he was awesome, man. He was awesome, and
great technician, like teaching.
Oh my
technique.
God, he's just absolutely legendary, absolutely legendary. I mean, just in the offensive line, Russ Grimm. I mean, you name like all the big time
Jimbo Covert
offensive linemen that came from the East Coast, kind of Pitt. That era, they love Coach Moore. Unfortunately, passed away several years ago. So, kind of in his honor, they made this offensive lineman trophy, and it's huge. It goes from school to school each year, but It's gigantic. It weighs like a couple 100,000 pounds. It's awesome.
Is it any coincidence that Michigan might be in the college football playoffs because of their offensive line?
Hey, I love that. Love that idea.
I'm just trying to teach people how important that is. Don't listen to PFF or anybody else's reasoning. The reality is the offensive line is critical.
Huge.
And until you get that going in Chicago, despite PFF and whatever the Vikings and Packers, according to sources, are ranked, the Chicago Bears offensive line is the biggest weakness in watching it, even more so than the defensive line, despite the running game. That's my truth in watching and assessing, but you have to fix the pass rush of the Chicago Bears. But Michigan O-line, that's really well coached. It really is.
Man. That's what happens.
It's impressive to watch them be technicians with whatever front is given to them. They're able to have an answer, and they're still going to run their offense, and they're going to run at you. And if you decide to load that box and play that 46 front, bear under front, whatever you're going to do, and 9-man on the line of scrimmage, then they're going to throw on you. And that's what they did. And Ohio State, they learned a valuable lesson. Big plays were made down the football field. That's why Chris messed up by giving Sonny Dykes the vote and not Jim Harbaugh.
So what Coach of the Year award did Dykes not win?
I don't know.
Yeah, he swept them all. So.
He swept them all, huh?
It wasn't just me.
See, you could have maybe put the powers that we'll see.
His first year, man. His first year, he takes a team that
I loved him for about
30,000 transfers.
59 minutes. I loved Sonny Dykes. And then I'm like, oh my God, Sonny Dykes. Quarterback sneak. Give the ball to Big Red. He got you there. Okay. Oh my God. Now you got a playoff team that lost to Kansas State. And Chris is going to hold that. So unless they beat, sure. Who are they playing? Ohio State?
Come on,
no,
man.
They're playing Georgia.
Get with the damn program, man. This is
they're
college
playing
football.
Michigan, baby. Playing Michigan, baby.
Come on, man.
I'm testing you.
Are you really? It's called ESPN.com. Just go over there, and you can see.
Let's talk about these bowls, Chris.
Speaking about the bowl games,
you had some bowls that have been played.
Yes, we did. Well, first of all, before you started, what about Army Navy? Did not have a chance to see it. Heard it was kind of interesting toward the end, but I heard the helmets were awesome.
It was like the whole game was going back and forth and boring.
That's what I heard.
Just old time struggling, and then all of a sudden, that clock starts making energy and anxiety happen, and plays were happening, and it was an amazing football game. It turned into an amazing game, and that's sometimes how it works. And I loved it. I watched every minute of it.
Unfortunately, Navy lost, and the Navy head coach
couldn't believe it.
After
they fired him
after the game.
They fired the head coach. He's been with them forever.
Here's an interesting fact. Yes, he was actually the defensive coordinator. He was actually with them, I want to say, for probably like the mid-90s as like the D-line coach, offensive coordinator, whatever it was. But here's an interesting fact. A couple of years ago, before the BYU head coach was named, they offered him the job, and he declined because his son was a freshman on the BYU football team. So not very many people have a chance to kind of make that step from Navy to a bigger program,
Right. I don't know what they haven't named anybody yet, have they?
Yeah, they have. So the defensive coordinator, Bruce somebody, Hartwell or something like that. He's now the so. But there were some other kind of crazy games. We had and I love the name. Well, first of all, let's talk about the bowls. So there were like 500 of them. And as much as people hate the amount of bowls, the idea of a bowl game was originally supposed to reward kids that played well during the season. Unfortunately, what we see now is that you have to have a minimum of 6 games in order to go to bowl game. It's basically, and there's 12 games a season, so you can be literally average. Right. So now the bar was just kind of lowered tremendously, which just sucks. I think it's bullshit. So you have that situation, and then you have all these
like rice
want to have a damn bowl game. So you got the Bahamas Bowl, you got the Trader Joe, no, not Trader Joe's, but you got the
Jimmy
Vegas
Kimmel.
Bowl, you got the Jimmy Kimmel Bowl. You got you start kind of diluting the pool there, and so if a team is not, if they don't have 6 wins, if not 500, because there's so many damn bowls, some teams now the bowl games have to grab the 5 and 7 teams.
Right.
Come on.
I don't. That's where rice came in.
Now you're in a bowl, and you don't even deserve to be in a bowl, but because the money corporation of the bowl season, they got 30 damn bowls. Now you're rewarding kids for being subpar.
Right.
So not even you're at 500. You're lower than 500. So as much as I hate to say this, because I am all for kids experiencing great things after the season, we're going to have to eliminate some of these damn bowls. and make only the good teams have a chance to go to the bowl. So I think there's 47 bowls or something like that. Let's just say there's 40.
Right.
Phil, I mean, how many bowls do you think there should be? If there's 40,
There should probably be 15 bowls.
which means there's 40. That's 80 damn teams.
Right. Exactly.
So now I feel like the Little League Pop Warner football coach giving everybody a goddamn trophy.
Exactly.
Here's a bowl for you. Here's a bowl for you. I feel like Oprah. Here's a
LA
bowl for you.
Yeah, the Vegas Bowl.
Come on.
Where Oregon State smashed Florida.
Come on. Right.
The
right.
Celebration Bowl. How about that one?
Yeah.
I had a rooting it. I was NC Central. In Jackson State.
How about that? So this is the second bowl game. The first year Deion didn't make it to a bowl game. So this is the second bowl game he lost, right? Because he lost the first bowl game. Yeah.
There you go.
Which is something else we got to talk. I have that on my list too. So first of all, let's kind of talk
UAB,
about some of these bowls.
Yeah,
yes.
UAB Miami of Ohio was the first bowl, the Bahamas Bowl.
Yes.
Then the Cure Bowl, which was a really good, and Cherie had a rooting interest.
Hey.
But her team went down.
Hey.
Troy beat University of Texas San Antonio, the Roadrunners.
There you go. Baby. All right. Hello.
They were road throwers.
Now, I was kind of shocked, right? When we were talking about the Cincinnati Louisville, because I think I texted you about this one, didn't I?
Can we get a TTNL bowl?
Hey man, why not?
Logan's on.
Hey man, if Jimmy Kimmel got one,
exactly. We got to start. What is that? What is that when you ask for money? What is that thing?
A GoFundMe.
GoFundMe for the TTNL bowl. We could start it now.
GoFundMe. Well, we only need about $2 million. So, hey, let's start that now.
Start it now.
Yes.
He's got a good turnaround in 2026.
Barstool Sports is a damn bowl.
They do?
Yes. It's the Arizona Bowl.
Oh, that was their bowl?
Yeah.
Oh, they haven't played that one yet.
No, they haven't played that one yet.
They played the New Mexico Bowl. They played the Frisco Bowl.
See?
The Myrtle Beach Bowl.
Now, again, I want kids to have these experiences because the kids, dude, you work hard. If you don't have a chance to make it a national championship game, you don't have a chance to make it through conference championship, then I think you should have a minimum. And this, I'm going to get my ass kicked over this. But I think you should have a minimum of like 8 wins.
I agree.
Is that too hard to ask? 8-4, take your ass to the bowl game.
Or how about you have to be ranked? You have to be ranked.
We only go 16, so there will only be 8 bowls.
What's that?
We only rank 16, so we only have to be 8 bowls.
And this, I'm saying,
so
they have to be the top.
Oh, so you're looking at other rankings now.
Oh, here you go.
See, I don't talk to you for a week, and look what happened. What the hell? You're not. Oh, it's a coach's bowl.
The Music City Bowl, Iowa versus Kentucky. Neither team is ranked. See? No bowl.
Yeah, but then but you're only talking. But then you're only talking about like 10 bowls.
I know Baylor would be in a lot of bowls for you.
Hey man, I tried.
The Baylor Bowl, starring Baylor.
That's terrible. How about your UConn team, man?
They got beat.
They did. I feel so sorry. But when was the last time they were in a bowl?
To the team that beat you.
That's true.
Marshall.
When was the last time UConn was in a bowl?
I have no idea. That's a great trivia question.
There you go. He's
it was back, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. They went down to Florida to play in a bowl.
Okay.
We checked that, Cherie. UConn's last bowl. But yeah, the Gasparilla Bowl. Are you ready for that one?
Who's in that one?
Wake Forest, Missouri.
See,
the Gasparilla. What is Gasparilla?
Isn't that a flower or is that a cocktail?
I don't know. It sounds like a Looney Tune.
It might be a
name.
location, bro.
I never knew about it. The Armed Forces Bowl.
See, okay, hold
Guess
on.
who's in it?
Let's
Baylor.
hello.
Baylor
See, I
versus
told
Air
you.
Force.
Let's back up a little bit. So you're talking
The
about
Armed
the
Forces.
Sarsaparilla Bowl, right? The
Gasparilla.
Sarsaparilla Bowl.
Gasparilla.
I thought you
G-
said sarsaparilla, but see, so the sarsaparilla bowl, right? So you have
Yep.
a Missouri team that's 6-6.
Right.
Like, I mean, I feel bad, man, because these bowl experiences for these kids are great, right? And then you have the whole controversial thing of the idea of now
there you go.
the top players not being in the bowl games. So now these bowl representatives, are hinging on these good teams, and then the stars aren't even playing in them,
I truly agree with it. I
And then
remember every year watching the Holiday Bowl because I
See?
always thought that was a great bowl.
Mm-hmm.
They got rid of that bowl now.
Well, no, I'm sure they probably renamed it like the Wasabi Bowl or the Apple Teeny Bowl or something like that, right?
I have no idea. You got the standards: the rose, cotton, citrus,
There you go.
sugar,
There you go.
peach, fiesta, orange. Those were, and was the Gator Bowl?
Yeah,
Is
I don't
that
think there's a
one?
Peach Bowl anymore.
Yeah, there's a Peach Bowl.
No.
Oh, yeah, it is. Georgia
Where?
versus Ohio State's in the Peach Bowl.
Get out of here.
I kid you not. Oh, there is the Holiday Bowl. Oregon versus North Carolina. It's there. Look at
There is a
that.
Peach.
It's
Wait a
back.
minute. What am I thinking about then? The Peach Bowl? Wait a minute.
The Peach Bowl, man.
Yeah, but
The Peach Bowl is there. It's college
Sharika,
football
can you do a
semifinal.
little semi-search on a Peach Bowl and see? I don't
It's
remember
right
that.
here.
No, I
Georgia
understand they're
versus-
right. I understand they're playing in it, but
The Peach
I don't
Bowl has
remember
been
that
there.
Peach Bowl
No?
being around for. I mean, I remember it when it was, when I was in college.
You don't remember Logan carrying out all those fucking rotten peaches? The rotten ones?
I'd be surprised if it's been around for like 20 years. Like I remember it being around when I was playing, but then there had to be like
That's
a
past
huge,
20.
Hey, easy there, Bucky. Easy there, buddy.
Because I'm past 20, I'm saying.
Uh-huh.
The Peach Bowl has been around, no? How long has the Peach Bowl been around?
I don't know.
That's the question.
I don't know.
Baylor's in a bowl. That's all Chris cares about right now.
No. I want to see some good bowls though. So I think the Holiday Bowl, which you mentioned, has an Oregon team that we loved all year.
And Bo Nix
Yes.
is coming back for his 11th season in college.
Oh, we're
Been around since 1968, Chris.
Come on, every year. Just
the Chick-fil-A Bowl is new, but
I don't. So it's been going on every year since 1968. Sure,
it's the Chick-fil-A
Peach Bowl. See,
the Peach Bowl has been around, bro. I'm telling you, the
since
Gasparilla
68?
Bowl has never been around. Is a name of a group of people.
Hey,
it's
the People's Bowl.
It's the People's Bowl.
It's the People's Bowl. All right, so here I have like a list of my 5 exciting ones I'm excited to see outside of the Final Four.
Can we put the drop in?
Do we have a drop?
We have Chris's top 5.
Love it.
There you go.
Special
Instead of
bowl.
week, just put this bowl season.
Bowl season.
Yes.
My first one that you mentioned was a Holiday Bowl.
There you go.
Because I just want to see. I mean, I want to see Oregon do well. Just because they had a couple of hiccups, and they should have been in a damn conference championship. I think they're going to blow North Carolina out.
So it's not the game that you're excited about. You actually are excited about a blowout. I'm trying to understand this.
Well,
You're rooting for Oregon to end this season well.
Correct.
That's what you want.
Yes, and I want to see them blow out North Carolina.
I'm looking for bowls that are going to be great games to watch.
Well,
like that.
I'm going to go for some good teams. Okay, go ahead. So give me one of yours.
Well, that game, I was excited to see Coach Prime lose.
Okay, why is that?
Well, he's leaving Jackson State. I know the NC Central coach was upset with how he was treated and how his team was treated. And so I wanted to see how that game would unfold. And it was a great, exciting game. I mean, you talk about a finish. Oh, my God.
Was that the same team that Dion lost to his second year?
I don't know.
In the bowl game?
See, I haven't followed him that closely, but up until recently with all the shenanigans and all of the pointing fingers and Jackson State and all this stuff, he's leaving because they stole from and this. All this controversy has brought my attention to it. So I wanted to see. Now he's going from HBCU University to what do they define Colorado as now?
Well, they're called the majority institutions are called predominantly white institutions, so PMIs. So you have HBCUs, which are historically black colleges.
No, but what is it called? The football conference what do they call that?
Pac-12?
No,
Power 5?
Power 5.
Okay.
That's what they were saying. They kept saying it. He's leaving from a HBCU to a Power 5 conference. Now he's going to go there. We'll see how he does.
But it's never been done before.
Right. So the ending of this story here, Dion always talked a lot of smack.
Well, yeah, as a coach and as a player.
Yeah, exactly. So how he handled and him leaving and everything like that, to see it play out in the game, that was really an intense battle. And how this is going. Now you got this kid Hunter, who's this superstar athlete playing offense and defense.
Gordy Logbomb.
Is he going to go to Colorado and follow Coach Prime?
Well, as of now, he put his name in the portal, but he hasn't made a decision.
So.
But I do have to say one thing about kind of this whole Coach Prime thing. When he was hired by Colorado, apparently the Colorado school system didn't accept transfers the way other school systems do. So part of the deal, I guess, was that they will now allow transfers in. And at the press conference, the chancellor mentioned that they now will have general study classes, which apparently they didn't have before. And they'll have
teaching
majors. They'll have PE major courses, and so now it's like, and then the athletic director was saying, well, this is going to help regular students too. It's like, well, how many regular students? Why
didn't you do this in the first place? Number one,
it's going to help regular students.
It's helping us get more talent to the football program.
Which apparently they need, because at the end of the press conference, somebody asked them, hey, how you going to come up with the money? And they're like, well. He's like, well, we don't have the money now, but we'll have the money.
Well,
that's encouraging.
I can't wait to see how he does at Colorado. It's going to be interesting. I saw how they ended that. I thought that was karma going how it ended. Mm-hmm. And I want to see how this unfolds. I will say this. I do not like some of the shenanigans as a coach, and to name your son the starter without ever no competition.
That was tough.
I don't like that. I think he probably would like to backtrack on that. But we'll see.
And then there's an interesting article in The Athletic. They're talking about the current Colorado players who jumped into the portal
Mm-hmm.
since kind of Prime took over. So I think that'll be interesting as well.
Karma, how? Karma that you were talking a lot of smack that you were going to win this, and you treated NC. They didn't even name NC.
I heard about that. Yeah.
They thought they were NCA and T. Like, that is so offensive to. That's how they referred to them. Like, this was like a layup. We're going to beat these guys, and that's it. And then to have it. So that's how karma came into playing in that bowl game, which was honestly an absolutely amazing, well-coached game. NC Central versus Jackson State, overtime. NC Central 41-34. If you haven't seen it, that's what I like about bowls. You can go back and watch some of these guys. So
yeah, it's called YouTube.
Yeah, really great game there. Check that out. There's a lot of talent there. How that kid though is a definite talent. I'll tell you that.
Well, wasn't he like the number one recruit in the country, or the number one? I think he was number 2, but number 1 DB or something like that.
I got a vent.
Oh, sorry.
The broadcasters of that, if they kept, I've never watched a broadcast where we've heard, oh, he's a 5-star recruit coming so much. It was like,
well, were they trying to pump up the program, or were they trying to was it all kind of favored toward Jackson State?
It's all favored toward Jackson State. It was hard to listen to. It really
that's the hard part, right? Yeah.
That's why I felt like even the broadcast was against. So it was really one of those Rudy-esque games that this underdog team went out there and beat. And I'll tell you what, that NC Central quarterback showed me a lot.
Well,
He was
and
a tough son of a
here's
gun,
the
that
thing,
kid.
though, right? It's that, so you have this HBCU bowl that's on ESPN. They're trying to have the hype of having Dion,
Right.
So it's and I'm sure the ESPN executives, they got the memo. The memo was like, hey, this may be one of the last times we're covering this bowl because Dion isn't going to be here anymore. So, make this sound good. So I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And apparently they just don't know how to kind of.
If you're a Bears fan, you understand. It's like Aaron Rodgers with Collinsworth. That's how it felt.
There you go.
I'm like, oh my, did you just see this kid make this amazing run in this play? It was like, there was just so much bias in the broadcast. They needed to do a better job with that. But other than that, the game was just tremendous.
Okay.
Fresno State spanked Washington State.
See?
Oregon State in the Las Vegas Bowl spanked. So none of these games, Frank Gore's kid at Southern Miss,
right?
He ran the devil out of the ball over there at Southern Miss and beat Rice. The New Mexico Bowl, Chris, SMU and BYU. The Frisco Bowl, 35-32, Boise State over North Texas. We talked about UConn losing. Right. And now tomorrow you got the famous Idaho Potato Bowl.
Hello.
Eastern Michigan versus San Jose State. And one of my good friend's son plays at San Jose State.
Oh, that's nice.
So
all right. And then I'm
going to be watching the bowl.
Hugh Freeze's old team playing Toledo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Liberty.
Hello.
Hugh Freeze. Will he be coaching or is he not? Is he going?
Are you kidding me?
I don't know. For real.
When he got that job, I'm pretty sure he was.
Well, that was another thing. I don't know how you felt, but he took the job at Colorado, but he was still coaching Jackson State. Some coaches stay there. How do you feel about that?
Very few coaches stay at the last program.
All right.
Very few.
All right.
And Hugh Freeze is a perfect example.
Wednesday, you got the South Alabama versus Western Kentucky in the New Orleans Bowl. So a bunch of these bowls you're not a fan of. The Independence Bowl, Houston.
No. I'm a fan of all bowls because they create opportunities for kids.
Yeah.
It's just that there has to be this balance now with, you're rewarding 5 and 7 and 6 and 6 teams when, it's the whole, you give them participation trophies. And the coaches love this shit because they can say, hey, I've been to 6 bowl games. Right. Yeah, not even a winning record.
Exactly.
I've been in 6 bowl games. Oh, really? What was your we were just 500. Come on, man.
Hey, do you want to go to the Pinstripe Bowl, me and you, down to Yankee Stadium?
That was already played.
No, it wasn't. That was Fenway.
Oh, Fenway. That
was the Louisville.
Right. I'm sorry.
Pinstripe is Minnesota versus Syracuse.
There we go. Everybody's doing bowls, huh? I'm sorry. I thought it was already played before.
Oh, man. Richard Gordon's partial to cereal bowls.
Okay. See, there you go.
Claudio's partial to marijuana bowls.
No, there we go. Okay. So now I'm a fan of another bowl, and this is the Orange Bowl.
Yes.
We have Tennessee and Clemson. I think that's going to be a really good matchup because
that will be Friday, December 30th.
Yes, we have our guy Hendon, who's not going to be the quarterback for Tennessee, is not going to play. And actually, the backup was pretty good too.
Yeah, is the kid for the transfer from Michigan now the starter over Hendon? What was his name? He was a highly thought of recruit, tall kid, big.
Yeah, the guy who played. Yeah, the guy who played when Hendon got hurt. That guy.
Yeah, so he'll be starting that game. So there you go.
And then you're also going to have, I think he's a sophomore, but for Clemson, because DJ bounced to the portal.
So he won't be playing in the game.
He will not be playing the game. He'll be looking for another team.
There you go. No word on Hill end.
Great opportunity.
So the Orange Bowl, that'll be next week, Friday, December 30th, right before New Year's.
Okay, yeah.
So you talked about the Holiday Bowl, Arkansas, Kansas in the Liberty Bowl next Wednesday.
That's a tough one. Because we love the Arkansas coach.
Yeah.
But he kind of disappointed us this year. But I'm excited about the Sugar Bowl.
Sugar Bowl.
And why is that, you say?
I'm wondering how could he not like the Cheez-It Bowl? But
no, I'm excited about the Cheez-It Bowl because we're going to have a chance to see Florida State again. Yeah, man.
Oh, look at you.
Remember toward the end of the year, Florida State was
playing
coming
some
on,
good
man.
Ball.
I mean, dude, they only have 2 losses this year. People forget about that, man.
The Sugar Bowl, obviously, the team that you felt should have been in.
Yes, sir.
Versus Kansas State, who beat the team that you felt shouldn't be in.
There we go.
So there's your rooting interest.
Well, but then there's also going to be this unique thing where Bryce Young and Will Anderson are talking about playing in that game.
Yeah, I love that.
Right.
You don't.
Well, I don't because you're not playing for national championship.
Mm-hmm.
And
if they were to get hurt,
correct. Like, and don't get me wrong. I mean, I am all for kids playing out their time and everything, but when we start talking about opportunities and kids being used for their athletic ability, and you throw in the NIL money and everything else, but at the end of the day, will these kids play? And the fear. And I've had this for Bryce Young over a couple of years was, I hated the fact that Nick Saban kept him in when they were beating the crap out of people because I was afraid he was going to get injured. I mean, you're one injury away from not only your career, but, an injury that could cost you in the draft.
You saw it with Willis McGahee, if you're old enough for that.
There we go.
former running back for the Miami Hurricanes. He ended up playing against Ohio State. Totally damaged his knee. Still ended up getting drafted by the Buffalo Bills, I believe, in the end of the first round. But that was a rarity. To your point, I have a rooting interest because if the Bears are at 2, Will Anderson's my guy. Right? So
But
don't play him.
He's going to be your guy. Right, exactly. You don't want, right.
Just sit him out.
Right.
Save him for the Bears. But I've seen this play itself out. Mike Anderson. Yep. Jake Butt.
Yeah. Another
Michigan
example.
Tight end. I mean, talk about a drop. That kid had so much talent. He had what's the Mayer? Is that his name? Meyer?
Yeah,
for Notre Dame. Talent. He had that type talent.
Well, but and then speaking about Notre Dame, you also had that linebacker. I forgot his name.
Oh my God, Smith.
Yeah, Jalen Smith.
And
that's a perfect
That's right.
example,
That's another
man.
one.
Perfect example.
But he was playing in the national championship.
Right. Well, right. Again, that's a hard one to
but
kind
it's
of
still a
pass up,
showcase.
But, right, exactly.
If it's not for that,
right,
maybe you want to shut it down.
Right. And as much as I hate saying that, but you want to kind of value your players, right? And I would almost expect the coach to kind of pull them aside to say, look, you know what? You had a great run here. We did not reach the national championship game, and I apologize about that. But, you really might want to think about your future, and you really might want to sit these games out.
What do you say to this guy? That's life. Props to them for playing, but I'm sure they have millions of dollars insurance, a degree, plus $1 million. You could survive.
No, I absolutely agree with that. But when you compare the insurance policy that these kids have, they don't have a $30 million insurance policy. They have probably $1 million insurance policy.
Right.
Or let's say $2 million at the most.
Right.
And so the way that works is, and again, I mean, I've been through this, but let's say the person sustains an injury. You have until 1 calendar year to kind of be back in the same. You could perform, right?
Right. You have to perform.
Correct, but it's not going to be the same. Right? No. You can go out and, let's say if you're a receiver, you can go out and catch a pass, or if you ran a 4.2 and you're a 4.3, the insurance isn't going to pay out because you're saying, hey man, I need that 4.2 speed. They're like, dude, you can run a 4.3, you're fine. So that's kind of where the insurance doesn't help you, right? Because
unless you're totally
you were at
out.
this peak, right? Exactly. It's a catastrophic injury. So now you're paralyzed. You broke your leg. You can never play.
That's a great point,
right?
That people don't see.
Right, and again, the insurance policy. These insurance policies the insurers aren't insuring these kids for $30 million, right? I mean,
right?
No way. Plus, the premium would be like $500,000 anyway. But the idea, so yeah, well, hey, the kid has an insurance policy. Yeah, that's great, but it's probably for $1 million, and that insurance policy isn't going to bring you back to your 4.2 speed. It's going to bring you back to that you can run again. And let's say again, I gave the example of running a 4.3, but you're like, hey, I ran a 4.2. They're going to be like, dude, you ran a 4.3. You're not getting your money.
I agree with you. And the thing I fight back with what Citizen is contemplating, it's like you, Citizen, winning 30 million in the lottery, and then us saying, well, you're going to only have to take one because, you're going to say, wait, I won 30. It's like you have to understand that these guys have the opportunity to swing and play the game of football for life-changing amounts of money. So the opportunity to pursue your career on that path shouldn't be penalized. Say, well, you got your degree, so you can't just limit them. And football is the most physical game out there. And the career what is it? The average career is what? 3.2 years
in the NFL.
So
if you're lucky enough to make it.
If you're lucky enough to play it in the NFL, which you were, but a lot of people aren't. And yeah, money doesn't spell happiness. Yeah, but it certainly takes care of a lot of other problems. Let's just be honest here. Otherwise, you ain't getting up every day, citizen, going to that 9 to 5 like me. And that's the truth. So we can joke about all these different things, but the fact that they're playing, says a lot about their character.
It is huge. I mean, I am absolutely amazed. And again, I'm just really surprised. And maybe Nick did, and they said, no, we're playing anyway. But it's just really tough, man. Really tough to kind of see that. And I just hope and pray that no one gets injured, any bowl. I just don't want to see that happen.
Is there any other bowl that you...
Of course. The next one happens to be the other game on the 30th, which is the Gator Bowl.
The Gator Bowl.
A up-and-coming South Carolina team playing that team in South Bend that we all love or love to hate. That's Notre Dame.
From 47.
From 47 to
20.
There you go.
21.
Well, they didn't make my bowl, but that's okay. I mean, they didn't make my Super 16. So, but I'm excited. Now, here's the challenge, right? So we all heard it was kind of interesting. We can thank Elon Musk for this, for allowing everybody to create all types of different Twitter accounts. So apparently, a couple days after they named the opponent, Spencer Rattler, there was rumor that he was going to leave and go to another school. That, unfortunately, is not true. So he will be at South Carolina. However, all of Notre Dame's stars, including Drew Pine, who was their quarterback, have left Notre Dame. That's a hell of a challenge for our buddy Marcus Freeman.
Big challenge. Their quarterback, the young kid, is going to be starting, right?
Tyler Buckner, yes, who started the first game and got hurt.
They were so high on the kid, and he got hurt. Now he's going to be back playing, so that'll be a storyline. And obviously, the tight end's playing, though, right?
No, he's out of there. Myers
he's
out there.
Too?
Yep, he's out. So is Foskey. They're All-American defensive linemen.
Oh, my God.
Yes. Oh, my gosh.
I didn't hear about the tight end.
Yes. It's going to be craziness.
So Spencer's going to be counting his touchdowns.
Yes, exactly. I love that little
we know we got that freshman corner, though, for Notre Dame.
Yes.
He's number
Hamilton.
20. He's going to have something to say about it.
Yes. No, I'm not Hamilton. Harrison, I think.
Harrison.
Something like that. Yeah.
So
and I think that they're going to have to get a huge game out of their running backs. And on the defensive side, they're going to have to stop them. And it's going to be hard. I mean, if anybody watched the last two games that South Carolina had, I mean, they were great. They were teams that they were supposed to lose to, and they wound up just balling. And the first one we're going to talk about is Tennessee. They just beat the crap out of Tennessee, and Tennessee was supposed to kill them.
Right. Pulling the upset. They're on the hot streak. So is Notre Dame, except for the skid that they had against USC. Down the stretch, you got hot Spencer Rattler. That's going to be 3:30 game on the 30th, that Friday.
And then my last bowl on our 5 is the Cheez-It Bowl. The one that you
I was
mentioned
right.
before. Yes, see? Look at you, man. Even though we haven't talked in a while, we still have that vibe, man.
And we still got it, Chris.
And again, the reason why I want to see really want to see Florida State play again, because, and I said this before, I mean, they had a great first game. They beat LSU. Everybody thought they were going to do some stuff. Unfortunately, season didn't turn out the way they wanted. They wound up suffering those 3 losses in the middle of the season to Wake Forest, NC State, and Clemson. But after that, they won all their games.
Yeah, they have turned it around. I really like the coach there.
Yeah.
What he's doing. The quarterback there, He's got a lot of tools in his toolbox. He's an athlete. He can move, throws the ball, makes some critical throws. It's going to be exciting to see that game. I like that pick. And is Oklahoma. They went out there and smashed somebody. Who did they? Oklahoma State. They spanked them, right?
But the quarterback actually jumped into the transfer portal.
So now they're going to be playing a young kid.
Right. So starting quarterback jumped into the transfer portal.
Well, maybe they got to put a rule here that you can't jump the portal until after bowl season.
I mean, right. I mean,
this is a tough situation to coach.
Exactly.
Now you got to take your backup kid.
Right. A kid who hadn't played all year. So again, it's the value of these bowls, right? If you're not playing for the national championship, if you aren't in the New Year's 6 bowls that they call, so these other bowl sponsors, they want the top names in their bowls, but it turns out that they're leaving. They're not even playing in the game.
And the whole transfer portal issue is thousands of players have put themselves in there. Now there's not thousands of scholarships to give. So the whole situation is getting crazy. You saw the coach at Washington State, I believe. He came out and was speaking. We got coaches calling our kids, offering them NIL stuff. It is a battlefield of craziness that's going on in this secondary type of recruiting chaos.
Well, and Phil, I think in the last show we talked about, I mean, now you have to recruit the high school kids. You have to jump the portal and kind of recruit kids from the portal, right? Those two things. Yep. But then the third one that no one talks about is you got to keep recruiting your own kids on your team.
Well, there's four. There's four.
What's the fourth one?
The junior college kid.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Those are big gets too. You find those junior college kids, and I think your cherry on top, which is the most chaotic, is keeping your own kids happy. Now, are you becoming, an employee of the kids? You know what I'm saying? The power kind of switches over to the kid. No, so you really have to take that stance that separates the good coaches from the bad.
Well,
because at the end of the day,
I mean, I think you're right about that, but I mean, you could be a great coach, right? And you're going to have a kid who played this year.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody else is going to come in, let's say a transfer portal kid, take a spot, and he's going to bounce. And I don't think that has nothing to do with coaching. I mean, you're trying. So, for example, let's look at Marcus Freeman. I'm just saying him because I'm program.
It's fine.
I mean, right after the loss against USC, they went into the quarterback room and said, hey, and I don't have inside information. This is public knowledge. They went in the quarterback room and said, hey, we're going to look in the portal. And as soon as they said that, Drew Prime was like, I'm out of here. Right? So you have to understand that. But again, you have the current kids, they all could have jumped in the portal, right? But they didn't. And so that question is, Drew Prime, I can't win with you. I can't win a national championship with you. So I'm going to try to find somebody that we can win a national championship with. And by the way, you're going to feel slighted. You're going to leave. I mean, that's the hard part, right? And I don't think it's a good coach or bad coach. I think, coaches are going to have to see it. It's just going to be a part of coaching now. And I think the great coaches are going to lose guys left and right.
I agree with everything. I just mean your coaching philosophy is going to have to rule the day is what I mean.
Right.
It's like, you're going to lose it. But at the end of the day, the foundation of your technique and fundamentals and the things that you preach, listen, I would have a difficult time. I mean, I've gotten offers to coach a bunch of college schools that I've turned down because of my family and that situation, right? So now the playing field is like crazy different, even worse. So you as a coach have to be embedded. And I think this is where you'll separate the men from the boys. And we'll just use the Utes coach. He is who he is. And that's how you can't promise bullshit to kids. You have to say best player is playing.
Right.
You want to come here.
Right.
And that's where the shoe salesmen will be out of the job wherever they go, whatever school they leave. Because at the end of the day, the culture of empty promises always rises to the top. So it's got to be very straightforward. So I respect, hey, we're going into the portal. He didn't have to say that, but he did. Now that kid could decide if he wants to move. If he wanted to move, then he was gone anyway. You know what I'm saying? So Marcus is doing it right, in my opinion. Like, that's how truthful you got to be.
A great example was, like you said, Kyle Whittingham, right?
Yeah.
Coach for the Utes. I mean, this guy's been a head coach for 18 years. You know what the culture of his program is.
Right.
So, you got people that are going there that understand that. And if a kid transfers, he's going to transfer for whatever reason. But I can't imagine that guy coming up to a kid going, yeah, you're going to play. He's going to pull the shoe salesman bit on him, right? And I guarantee he probably won't do that. And so, like you were saying, the coaches that have the good cultures will succeed no matter what.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, your whole team is not jumping in the portal, right?
Exactly.
So you're going to have a handful of guys jump into the portal. And then another thing, kind of, you referred to this earlier, there's only a certain number of scholarships. And so what a lot of folks might not understand is a kid could put their name in the portal. And I think I mentioned to you this. So the portal started in 2018 when I was the athletic director at Chicago State. And we had a basketball player put his name in the portal. And we're like, dude, we're Chicago State, and, we're like 0-15, and, you're putting your name in the portal. Where do you think you're going? Oh, I got some opportunities. Well, turn out didn't happen. But I just say that to say that kids who put their name in the portal, they're not guaranteed to go anywhere.
Right.
And think about it. When you jump in the portal, you're like leaving your school behind. Like, you're leaving your team. If it doesn't work out, you're not going to be welcome back.
It's a serious situation that's going down, obviously one with which we've never seen ever. And it's become, on one hand, you're fighting because of what Cherie and HL were talking about. Billions of dollars were being made off of these players like yourself, your jersey sales, Marshall Faulk, Tim Tebow, all the way down, Desmond Howard, just thinking some of the guys back in the day where I saw all of these people everywhere, no matter what state, wearing that player's jerseys. They weren't seeing any of that money. So you fight for that, and now you get that. Now with that comes this and NIL money now too. So now there's several layers that are going on, and who's policing this stuff? A great documentary for you to watch is the SMU one with Eric Dickerson and Craig James. I forget what it was called.
I think it was the Pony Express or
the Pony Express.
Behind the Pony Express or something like that.
Oh, it's a great, just to give you a sense of what was going down in recruiting. That was in the freaking late 70s, early 80s. Just think where it is now and the privatization of funds electronically. And listen, it's a situation. We have coaches that have gotten caught trying to call prostitutes or whatever, call girls, and they're still getting jobs. I mean, this is a different time where I just shake my head at some of the stuff. It's not the best look for this great game. So somebody has to step in and kind of get some margins for these lanes.
Sure.
To kind of, I don't want it to be like crazy complex like the freaking NFL cap, for God's sake.
Right.
just some boundary lines so you can keep this kind of fair. There shouldn't be a coach calling a kid, coach from Arizona. We'll just throw this out there. Arizona calling Washington State. Hey, Tommy, listen, we love you. You're going to be a starter here. Why don't you bounce from Washington State? They're not using you, right? We're going to give you some money here. You come down here. It's a great party school, whatever it is. That stuff can't, I mean, that's just against what this should be. So something's got to be done.
You know, Citizen had a great point by saying that, you know, maybe the portal should have been created for those teams whose coaches left, right?
Exactly.
And that's really kind of what you would look at. And just along with that, say that that student athlete wouldn't lose a year, you know, if they want to transfer. But, you know, now, like, literally it is the wild, wild west. And coaches don't even know what's going on. And I've talked to several college coaches, and they're just kind of laughing behind the scenes going, this is crazy. Like, they're just waiting for another shoe to drop. Like
exactly.
What else could possibly go on here that hasn't already? I mean, they have allowed the coaches they were able to kind of use their influence. So there's a period, there's 2 periods throughout the year for the transfer portals to have effect. It's from December 5th to January 16th. And then there's another period in March, I believe, or May for the second recruiting period. So at least they're able to kind of combat that. But at the end of the day, I mean, you still don't even know who your roster is. And so I know we joked before, the whiteboard in the coach's room,
right, that
has all the names on there, what years the kids are, you know, what years the kids are. Man, it's a damn circle. It's a free for all. They're just kind of throwing up names and see who's going to stick, right? Because
crazy.
I mean, no one knows what the hell's going to happen, and you got big time players that are leaving programs, and coaches are surprised, you know, and it's just frustrating as fans of the game to watch, right? So I'm sure your peripheral fan, the fan that kind of just watches college football just because maybe they went to the school, so they won't understand what's going on. But it's the crazy knuckleheads like us that kind of love this game and love to watch like smaller schools play each other, or D3 schools, or other schools that we may not have had any association with, but we enjoy watching the game.
And to your point, this kind of level of audacity, I think it should be predicated a green light if your coach has left and a new coach has gone in, should be given to the 2 schools where the one is leaving and the one is, you know, going.
Sure.
So that makes sense to what you and Citizen brought it up with you there at the same time. That I can understand because of opportunity, culture. Do they fit your philosophy? That makes sense. But to have this, and I only say this because even here at the high school level, my old high school where my father coached and I played, there's 2 high school towns. Now some parents are sending their kids to the other town, the other side of town, because they got a better, they're winning now. So I want to send my son there. They don't want to send. To have that kind of power is ridiculous to me. It's like, no, go and fairly play for what you committed to and get the education. I agree with that. And all of a sudden sports is taking over. Oh, I'm not going to get a fair shot here. I'm leaving Notre Dame and I'm going to go play at Penn State now because I'm going to get a better shot there. What was that one dude just went to school after school?
JT Daniels.
JT Daniels is on his 4th school.
Yep.
He's trying to find his fit so he can fulfill his dream of playing in the NFL. But NFL people are looking at,
oh my God, are you kidding me?
At him like,
even like a prospective employer, right? For when he's done, be like, dude, really, you couldn't make him your. First of all, you couldn't work hard enough to gain some type of respect and your attitude about who you are at one of the institutions that you think you could beat the person out? Whatever happened to that? And I think this all falls back, and I've said this 1,000 times, it's when whoever started giving everybody participation trophies, it kind of seeped into this situation, right? Because it's this immediate gratification for these kids, and these kids are being rewarded even if they don't work hard. And I said work hard, meaning, dude, I spent a whole year on the prep team, and I was holding bags, bro. I was holding the bags, and I never thought I was going to play, but I worked hard in the off season, and I set some goals, and I achieved them, and I was able to play. Like, whatever happened to that?
Bro, I'm step for step with you. I totally agree with that. The participation
the reason why
awards.
I could not coach nowadays, because I would be in HR's office like constantly. Then eventually they would just be asking me, they're going to say, Chris, we just say, you have to leave. You're swearing at the kids. You're pushing these kids. Their parents are calling us. You're not hitting them, but you're calling them names, and that's just not how we do it here. And I'd be like, I'm out. I couldn't coach these. I couldn't coach them.
I'm telling you, I feel the same way. I'm seeing it even in my sons. There's 2 Pop Warner teams in town, and both are fighting over my sons. And my wife's like, are you going to coach? Well, how are you going to coach with the shows and the Bears? Because they play on Sundays. I go, I'm going to have to coach. Like, I just can't see my kids being not coached well. So now I have to do research on who. It's crazy.
Jeez.
It's a crazy situation. But my sons love the game of football so much. But
that's awesome.
To your point, the participation thing is an invasion beyond, it's COVID-like. It really is. And there needs to be transfer portal boundaries, and we need to stop
NIL boundaries. I mean, come on.
NIL boundaries and participation boundaries. You want to give participation awards for an art class, a camp, summer camp.
56th. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
But in sports, man, you just erode the whole idea of like working hard and like
you take away. I kid you not. I'm not a soccer fan, everyone knows, but I tell the story. My kids played soccer, and they are very good athletes, and they dominated this soccer league, right? With kids that have been playing since my kids went out one time. I sound like I'm bragging on crazy ass parents. Yes. But listen, it's the true story. It's true, right? So they go undefeated in this soccer league. And it's a big deal soccer league, right? So at the end, they win the championship.
Right.
So they give all of the teams a medal, right?
Right.
They give them all medal. They give them a popsicle. They give them all the team. They get to the winning team, the championship team.
Right.
They ran out of medals.
Are you serious?
I kid you not.
Oh my God.
And all those other teams got in their cars and left.
Oh
and
my
these kids
God.
That won. I kid you not.
Oh my God.
I give my wife credit. I've never seen her so competitive. She's like, this is the age of giving everyone a participation. These kids worked their tails off to win the whole thing, and you didn't make them first? Give them the championship trophy. It's just sad. Because all those other kids were, wow, I want to be the champion too. Whether the popsicle could have been their inspiration to be, right? These kids got nothing.
Right.
We've ordered your medals. We're going to get them. I was like, we'll never play in that league again. I was like,
amazing.
But that's where life is right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Sad. We're going to wind down a little bit, but I just want to talk about the final four. Well, first I want to talk about an amazing year that U of I had in Illinois.
Yes.
I did not go there. I have friends who went there. They had an amazing year this year. They could have had again, talking about craziness of bowls and everything else. If Purdue would have lost, they would have represented the West in the Big Ten, which is just insane. But excited that they had a chance to get the bowl game. But want to talk about the Final Four. I'm excited to kind of see some good football and really want to see how TCU is going to fare in this environment where they've never gone before. The teams that we've talked about have been Georgia, TCU, and Ohio State. They've all been in this situation before. TCU has not. So I think we may see some kind of inexperience as a whole, the whole program, whole organization, how you prepare everything else, because this is huge kind of behind the scenes in order for these teams to be successful, I think. So, and that's why I think Alabama was so successful, because they had been there for so many years. But I would love to kind of get your take on, well, I kind of know who you think is going to win against TCU, Michigan.
Yeah, I think Michigan's going to handle them because of the trophy, the offensive line.
Right.
And you see these young kid growing up before your eyes, the quarterback making plays when they needed to be made over and over. It wasn't like one big play. It was the different. He was making some plays against Ohio State, then again against Purdue, where it's like a trap game. Right. If you look at it, right? Yep. You're like, oh my God, don't lose to Purdue in the championship while you have. And you saw TCU do just that to Kansas State. Now, is Kansas State better than Purdue? You decide. Right. Purdue's also in a bowl game. But I think Michigan handles TCU. We're going to be breaking that stuff down, though, Chris.
Yes, we are. We're excited about that. So we are going to be on an hour, maybe an hour before, hour and a half before the game, which is going to be on January 9th. It's a Monday. The game starts at 7:30 Eastern, so we'll probably be on like maybe 5 or something like that. 6?
Yep. Probably 6.
6. Okay, 6.
Because I know
6
my
ET.
commute is crazy.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
So 6, we'll probably be on talking about the big game.
Yes.
Aren't we going to come back on, though, next week?
We can. We can talk about some other games if you'd like. I'd love to. I enjoy seeing and talking to everybody about.
I think we should come back.
Hey, I'm willing to make college football all year round. So you give me an excuse.
The transfer portal.
Hey, there we go. We can have a transfer portal special.
Yes. Where did they land?
Right.
We can.
Exactly.
I enjoy doing this with you every Monday night. The Super 16 Bowl show today, but it's normally Bowl show.
One more thing, wanted to mention the passing of Mike Leach.
I was just going to bring it up. Great job.
That was just kind of heartening for. Never met the guy, but just kind of what he meant to college football, college athletics as a whole. One of the more candid, kind of the regular type guys who were coaching. Willing to say kind of anything he wanted to say, and we just loved it. Just kind of excited to see kind of what happened there. He want to be rushed to the hospital and want to pass away the following day. So, huge kind of shout out to his team because they're playing in a bowl game. They're playing. Who are they playing?
Oh, I just saw it. Mississippi State versus. What is it? Mississippi State, Illinois. They're playing. Illinois.
Yeah, that's right. Totally forgot about that. So. My understanding is that the defensive coordinator, I think, is taking over for that game. It may even be the new head coach. But again, just kind of, man, it's really sad to kind of see somebody in the family. Even though I've never met him, but really kind of understand what he meant to his team in college football. So we're kind of hate to see that happen.
It's a tough loss. Tremendous inventor, just a creative mind when it came to offensive play and the spread and coming up with a lot of the concepts. His coaching tree is vast. He was a character which created kind of a wave of what we say, bias against him because he was
Sure.
such a crazy character.
Quirky character, yeah.
Yeah. But I absolutely love the guy, and I felt like just a tremendous coach, a loss for college football, no doubt about it, and really glad you brought it up. And may he rest in peace. And Coach Mike Leach, appreciate him. That being said, what a show tonight, breaking down some of the bowls that occurred. We talked a lot tonight.
We did. We actually covered. We covered a lot. We talked about a little bit of Deion. We talked about
Deion,
the transfer portal,
transfers,
NIL. It's just something that I think that outside, or you could watch the games, and once you kind of understand watching the games, having fun, then you start learning like all this other stuff behind that goes on behind the scenes, like the portal, the NIL stuff, which either kind of can turn you on to it or really turn you off.
Right.
Kind of saying that, hey, this is a professional league. Now these kids are getting paid a lot of money, but at the end of the day, let's understand all the kids aren't getting paid. It's just the top 4 or 5 kids on the team are getting a lot of money. The other kids really aren't. I mean, they're getting a couple $100s to show up at like the local car dealership to sign autographs. I mean, so just understand that. Don't think that, oh, there I go. Don't think that all these kids are getting millions and millions of dollars because they aren't.
Well, that guy, if NIL was around back then,
dude, I wouldn't even know what to do, man. Come on.
You would have been helping me out right now with my Christmas bill.
I'd have been like, I mean, it would have been easier for me to say no. I mean, obviously I wouldn't have, but it just, come on, man. You can't take a kid coming from my situation and give him $1 million or her $1 million. Say, okay, go ahead. Let's go play football. What? Come on, man. I was eating garbage. I was eating food out of garbage cans. Not gonna give me $1 million. I need some understanding of what to do.
Well, we know what we could have done is our GoFundMe. You could have kind of funded that bowl game.
The bowl game, right?
The tape never
TTNL
lies.
Ball.
Slurpee Bowl.
There we go. We should get 7-Eleven to be a sponsor. That'd be great.
We'll get 7-Eleven as a sponsor. Where's that graphic, Ron? There it is.
There we go. That would be
Slurpee
fun.
Bowl.
The Slurpee Bowl.
The TTNL Chris Zorich Slurpee Bowl.
Love it.
That's what we're gonna do for 2026.
Hey, there you go. Yep, I like it.
Every first down that would be playing over the giant jumbotron. Hey, I like it. We'll have a lot of fun.
But it has to be played in like the freezing cold weather.
Yes, it has to be.
So you have to go to like Alaska or something.
Can we get Notre Dame Stadium?
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we can rent it out and play on like the coldest day of the year, like January, like 4th.
Strings.
Like right.
Has Notre Dame ever hosted a bowl?
They have never hosted. It'd be pretty hard to host a bowl.
The Slurpee Bowl would be great.
There we go. The 7-Eleven Slurpee Bowl at Notre Dame Stadium. Presented by TTNL. Come on.
Presented by TTNL. There you go. All right. We've
I've
done it all. He's Chris Zorich. Cherie, the beautiful lady bear, 83 on Twitter, producing. Follow Chris Zorich all over social media. The guy is a social media connoisseur.
Jeepers creepers.
I wanted to wish your beautiful wife a happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. I will tell her that.
Please. I wrote to you, but you don't answer your Facebook or
But
Instagram.
you have my phone number, so instead of
instead
of writing to me, you should have just instead of writing to me, you should have just called.
I should have just called.
I have 2 degrees from Notre Dame, but I say roading, so yeah.
There's Chris and his beautiful wife right there.
Definitely outkick my coverage. Definitely.
I think we all do.
Hey, hello.
There we go. Well, happy birthday to her.
I shall.
We'll see you next week, right? Let's do this again. There'll be more topics to talk about, more bowl games.
I'm sure more transfer
drama.
Craziness. Yes, absolutely.
Exactly. So keep it locked in. We'll be back next Monday night, 8:00 East, talking about these bowl games that are coming up, some that have occurred.
Yes, it'll be called the Super 16 Bowl Show Part 2.
Part 2.
I like that.
As we get it next week for
Great
us
idea.
all, for the great All-American. Number 50 at Notre Dame, number 97 for the Chicago Bears. Chris Zorich. I'm your guy, Draft Dr. Phil. This has been a special. Remember the ABC Christmas specials and all that? I used to live for that.
Yes.
Well,
Well,
what was your real quick? What was your favorite Christmas holiday special? Because that's what they called them back in the day.
Yeah. So
we didn't have all these streaming.
No. I would have to say, I got excited about the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer one. It was the like, what do they call it? Fast action or
those claymation ones.
Motion something.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember as a kid just being fascinated, like, oh man, that stuff was real, you know. So
Rudolph,
awesome. Yeah. Right. And then the Heat Miser and
that's my favorite
Miser
one.
guy. Come on,
that's
man.
Mine.
You cannot beat that. Oh, is that not the same one? I thought that was the same one.
No, Rudolph had his own.
Right.
Then the Year Without a Santa Claus is the Heat Miser.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
I'm Mr.
There you go. Yeah. See?
I'm Mr.
Motion capture, I think it's
101. But the other one was there's 3 of them that I loved. Rudolph, that one, and the not Heat Miser, Burger Meister, whatever.
I don't remember that.
Santa Claus is coming to town. That one. That's when you get the backstory, and it's called stop motion. Yes.
Okay.
Remember when he goes into town and none of the kids could have toys? That guy's taking them away. Burger Meister Burger.
Burger Meister.
Oh man, it was great.
But I think the classic one I loved was the Grinch Stole Christmas, Dr. Seuss's kind of
the cartoon one.
Yes,
not
the
the
cartoon,
Jim Carrey.
Not the Jim Carrey.
Well, I'm just gonna start the Game of Thrones backstory soon.
Oh boy, here we go. Well, before that, hold on. Favorite Christmas movie?
I love A Christmas Story.
Okay.
With Ralphie and the whole Shoot Your Eye Out. But also Christmas Vacation. Those two.
Yes, I am so old then. Cherie, how about you, Lady Bear? Do you have a favorite Christmas movie?
There you are. You don't want to do
What the hell?
Oh, okay. What
man,
are you
can't
doing,
do
Chris?
that, man.
What are you doing?
Hey, man, my hands. It's on the script. Chris had nothing to do with that. Cherie, that was all Phil.
Mr. N broadcast over here.
I touched nothing. That was not me.
Young Chris.
There we go. And Cherie's sister.
Cherie's grandmother?
No, that's her big sister.
That's her big sister?
Yes.
Oh,
I'm still waiting for a Christmas movie from you. Okay.
A Christmas Story.
All right.
This is how old you're going.
Yes, I'm going way back. I'm going black and white way back.
Yes.
It's a Wonderful Life.
I knew. My mother's favorite movie.
There you go. See, I'm that old, man. But that's
a great movie.
That's if The Godfather's my number 1 movie. It's a Wonderful Life is number 2. It just so happens to be a Christmas Carol. I have to watch it every year, so it's definitely in my top 5. So for me, my mom and I used to watch when I was a kid. That's kind of how I started watching it. And so this is kind of the only time that I really kind of hang out and think about my mom. Unfortunately, the last time I saw my mom was on Christmas of 91. And so I always watch the movie by myself, not my wife, not my kid, but by myself. I cry my eyes out watching the movie, just kind of thinking about all the great times my mom and I had. So by far, my favorite movie, my second favorite movie of all time, my favorite Christmas movie.
Wow. Look at that. I'm glad I asked it because that's gold. Chris, you're the best. We'll be back next week talking more bowls. Part 2, the Super 16 Bowl
Show
with Chris Zorich.
Thanks for watching the Super 16 Poll Show with Chris Zorich. Like, subscribe, and comment. This has been a special presentation of the Tape Never Lies Network. Performance over politics.